guys, and welcome back to another episode of your Besthetician podcast. Today's episode is going to be focused on it's okay to evolve and change with your business as it grows. As you guys know, we will always be transparent with our own personal experiences within our business, and me as a provider being in the treatment room, my thoughts and opinions on different skincare products and even treatments that I bring on to Skin by You. So
if you're just jumping into the podcast and you haven't been listening, I mean, we've been making these podcasts for over a year now. We have 60 episodes. You're jumping in at the golden hour of these podcasts because I feel like it's been a long time and we're getting really comfortable, and you're getting really comfortable about really expressing yourself and not being afraid to speak up. And it's something that we've talked about in business for a long time, that we wanted to be really different, and we wanted your brand to be different from, everybody in the space. That's what creating a good brand is. But I think we're at the time now where we got to put our foot down on things that we talk about behind closed doors a lot, and even talk to other estheticians about. And you've been doing podcasts with these amazing guests, and we want people to push out of their comfort zone and open up about things. And I think the best way we can do that moving forward is for you and for us to open up on our platform and stop goofing around and stop, fluffing things or dodging certain topics when we feel passionate about it, and you feel passionate about it as a provider, and you speak to your clients this way. So now it's time to put our foot down on the internet. So if you've just jumped into these podcasts, you're here at a good time because you missed a lot of us dancing around things for a lot of years. But going back to do you want to jump in there?
I just wanted to quickly say it is really scary with how much we've grown on Instagram and being a bigger esthetician in the space. And I'm not saying that out of being prideful of myself. I just know that the bigger that you get, the more pressure it is of feeling these things and sharing these things. Again, my goal at the end of the day is to bring value, bring truth to the industry. And being in this position has been really hard. I think that a lot of estheticians get into the aesthetics industry, and there is so much opportunity. There is a lot of wonderful opportunities. But truthfully, in the beginning, I wanted recognition. I mean, not recognition. I wanted to essentially bring on brands that I truly believed in. And you kind of want to be like at the top with all these big brands. I mean, that's how I thought that I wanted to really evolve within my aesthetics career with these brands. And I'm like, I'm going to represent these brands till the day I die. And I think that a lot of estheticians feel that way because they want the recognition within their brand. But truthfully, as I've grown as an esthetician, and I've realized that a lot of brands don't realize, number one, your worth, or there's not a lot of support within the esthetician community with these bigger brands, I've just kind of distanced myself, and I want to do something bigger and better in the industry.
Yeah, I like that you talked about that, because I'm sure people might see you on Instagram and assume what you have or how amazing it is. But you are right. There has been this pressure when we grew a bigger following that we don't want to burn a bridge ever. And we don't want to ever come out and be people who are just like negative all the time, and never want to
be respectful.
Yeah. I never want to turn into like an account or a brand that just is, like some of these people who pop on TikTok who just come in and like hate on a company. You've shown me a lot recently of like TikTokers who are like bashing Face Reality, or even Skin Better. We see the Skin Better hate a lot. I think it's an easy brand to go. They can't charge those prices. That's just disrespectful. And the products aren't that good. And you can get the same thing. My dermatologist told me. And we never want to be that way. But also there's this struggle because we want to tell the truth and want to be honest. And you're right that the bigger you get, the sooner it's going to be. And we've kind of been in our own little corner for a long time where we're like in the house and we're just creating our own content, and we don't go to trade shows. We haven't been out and about, but eventually we have to face these CEOs and these marketing, people of these companies. And as we take this next step in our journey, it does feel a little bit scary, and being really careful about the way we handle the situation. So, okay, well, I feel like we could talk about this all night long, but the topic of the video was changing your mind or growing, not changing your mind, but growing in the aesthetics field and changing the way you feel about things. So let's go back to that. Do you want to add one thing first?
No, I appreciate you saying that. I feel that it goes back to the same topic of it's okay to evolve, because in the beginning, truthfully, I wanted to be a Face Reality ambassador. And as I've grown within my career, I'm all about integrity and being treated the way that you want to be treated. It's so simple. We learned that in kindergarten.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be recognized just because I'm a bigger account. I want to be recognized that I truly believe and I want to recommend these products for myself. Now I'm at a place right now, truthfully, if Face Reality reached out to me, I would say no, because I have not felt that way. I have not felt respected. I have not felt supported. And again, it's not to shame anybody, but I've just found something that aligns with me more. And that's why I hope that people can hear this and be inspired that you don't have to get to the top and be disappointed.
Yeah. I think there's a few things I want to touch on with Face Reality that can apply to every brand and every situation of like how we got to that point and getting to a place where you felt comfortable to evolve and change. So with Face Reality specifically, it was our goal since we brought them on. I mean, we brought them on almost a year into business, something along those lines. And the end goal was always to become an ambassador. And we knew at the beginning, like we just needed the results. So you went crazy over the next year and getting amazing Face Reality results and taking clients all the way through the process and clearing so much skin. And then we were just creating a ton of content behind, using Face Reality peels and the best way to clear acne and stuff that, of course, benefited us. And we're trying to get clients in the door. But we were trying to show Face Reality like we were really serious and to take us serious when the ambassador situation came around. And when you applied to become an ambassador, we got nothing. We didn't even get, and at that time, I don't know what we were last year when we applied. I mean, probably 60, 70,000 followers, something along those lines, 50,000 followers. And we expected just to like be noticed, like, hey, we see what you're doing over there, but we don't think it's a good fit specifically. And not that we should get special treatment because we're a bigger account, but we do bring a lot of value. And we understood, hey, if you pick us, we bring a ton of value to this ambassador situation. And that was one thing that kind of really bummed us out. And we were just really confused about. There's no clarity on how they picked, who they picked, or how that situation down, which I think was also hard for us to like go like, what did we do wrong? Like, how do we do better next year? Like, how do we get picked next year? If we did, like, what did we do wrong that we need more of? Do we need to only carry Face Reality? Do we need more before and afters? Like, what do you guys need?
Yeah, but it also, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but it also comes like this obsession of what did I do wrong? I don't personally obsess over it, but I can only imagine if somebody that's a bigger account or has shouted Face Reality to the rooftops, what did I do wrong?
Yeah.
I mean, you're pouring it. And truthfully, they are such a big brand now that I don't expect anything crazy from them. It's not like, oh my gosh, they deserve every single person an explanation.
Yeah.
But just some acknowledgement. Again, I mean, as we talked in the previous podcast, I mean, it doesn't take much for somebody to feel recognized. And I've talked to tons of estheticians that feel recognized by certain brands. Maybe not to a personal level, but at least just thank you so much for your support. That's it. Literally through an Instagram. Even if it's just a comment. Comment, like, something.
Yeah, anything. A little share to your story, anything. At least something. So that was one thing that really started to like make us go like, oh, this is like really frustrating. It really bummed us out. And then the biggest one was the acne med situation. And, we talked about a little bit on the last podcast. We don't want to go too much into it here, but reaching out to Face Reality and you not getting the support you needed when you were confused about a product, and then talk to other people who are also confused about the product and nobody had the answers for it.
I'm not kidding. I've talked to like as you guys, if you don't already know, I switched from Face Reality to Mixie Skincare, and it took me about a year to do this move for my business. I mean, all I've ever wanted from Face Reality was truthfully results. I wouldn't have switched if there wasn't a factor of results involved in the integrity of my business for my clients. I want the best for my clients. This has nothing to do with, it has nothing to do with saltiness towards Face Reality. Like, truthfully, I would have stuck with the brand because you're kind of stuck at that point, truthfully. Like, if there's nothing better out there at the moment, what else do you do, truthfully? So I was at a desperation moment with my business, and thank goodness for Mixie again for providing a solution of the acne med. And I kind of went off topic, but I've talked to, I'm not kidding, probably 50 estheticians at this point from the time that I announced Mixie, that I was replacing Mixie. And they're like, oh my gosh, I thought I was the only one feeling this way. And, you know, ever since they changed their acne med formulation and the support is not there, I'm like, oh wow, I'm not crazy. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm a pretty reasonable person. I'm pretty, it takes a lot for me to get upset. I give people the benefit of the doubt all the time, and I will stick through a lot of things, and I'm learning to grow with that. I think that's the biggest thing I'm growing, like within myself, is that, like, truthfully, there's nothing else that you can do with I don't know. There's just a lot that goes into it.
Yeah. And, you know, going back to evolving and changing with the business it's an extreme step for us, and it's scary. And it felt a little bit overwhelming when we kind of both decided like this is the best move, and we don't fully know what the repercussions are going to be yet. You know, we haven't, you know, we're still going to use Face Reality acne peels. Clients who still want to use their products, we will still drop ship through Face Reality, but we don't know how Face Reality is going to react. We don't know if they're going to all of a sudden notice us for the first time and be mad at us the first time they notice you. But we're trying to roll with the punches, and we're trying to go what's best for business and what's best for clients. And at the end of the day, like, you know, not to be selfish, but like what's best for you, making sure that you're happy and you feel good about the things that we have and that we carry. You have to sell them to the clients, and you can't be in a position where, you're in this place where a client is unhappy and you're like, no, it's you, right? Like you can't say, no, that's your problem. Like they're like, these are the products you're giving me.
I mean, the biggest thing for me is I face my clients every single day.
Yeah. That's
the biggest thing for me. So I do want to acknowledge the fact that Face Reality, again, did transform my business in the beginning. Again, it was a gap in my practice that I truly felt like I needed. And if I didn't have Face Reality, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So I just want to acknowledge the fact that it did take me to that next level in my business, but the support, and then truthfully, the only thing that changed within Face Reality was their formulations. From my understanding and what it feels like as an esthetician, is that they're trying to go the cheaper route. Yeah. And I just am again, I was so confused why my clients were going backwards. I mean, when I first brought on Face Reality, my transformations were amazing. And I mean, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy for my clients. And this is literally life-changing for not only my clients, but for my business. It was so amazing. The only thing that changed with Face Reality was the formulations. And of course, their support that is not all that great. I hope that they're going in a better direction. And again, I really just hope that the brand can change as a whole when it comes to support. And 2 years later, I'm finally coming out.
Yeah. And you know, the bigger picture of us talking about being able to build and adapt and grow with your business, you know, this is something that we're learning right now, and we've learned in a lot of other ways when it comes to hiring an employee, or getting a new location, or marketing efforts. And this is something that is a crucial thing for successful entrepreneurs, is to be able to roll with the punches. Is when this big wave hits you and needs significant change, you have to be able to change. Yeah. And this is a new season for us that we're figuring out in real time of this has to change. We have to do it quickly. We have to do it efficiently, but it's terrifying.
Yeah. This is a really scary position to be in, because there's a lot of eyes on me, and I already know that even just me saying this, there's probably going to be a lot of people that don't like me, truthfully. Like, there's probably going to be people out there that look at me and they're like, oh wow, she just doesn't like Face Reality, or whatever it is of the preconceived ideas that you make of everyone, not just me. But it's just a scary position to be in. I mean, again, talking about the fact that you have a bigger platform and a voice to talk about these things, I mean, you just hope that people take it well.
Yeah.
And that's always been a struggle for me personally. And you know that I am so afraid of what other people think of me. But again, if I don't talk about these things, who else will? Like right now at this moment, who else is talking about these things publicly that has a bigger voice and a bigger platform to talk about these things?
Yeah. And there's nobody.
Unless there is. You guys please let me know.
Yeah. And I know our platform's not huge, and we're trying to grow it with this authentic in this real feel that people go, we're going to open up and just tell the truth. And then another thing I want to talk about, which is also something we haven't publicly spoken about, which would be buyer repeal. We switched out buyer repeal for Factor 5, and we're loving Factor 5 so far. They're pretty similar peels. Our biggest issue when it came to switching from buyer repeal to Factor 5, the number one was that we weren't seeing the results and the clients weren't very happy with it. There's nothing like, too crazy with that, is that you did it a lot and you did it for almost a year on different clients. I've done it. Your sister has done it. You've done it. And most people who were getting it weren't coming back and going, give it to me again, that's always the easiest go-to with any brand, any product. You can't make people like something, and you can't convince or trick people into results that aren't there. And then the second thing is that there was some stuff with the brand that we don't know what's true, what's not true, but we had a client or multiple clients come to you that heard some rumors about a company. And for us as a bigger account in the space, we do have to be careful about how connected or close we are to brands, and that we can't have customers or clients coming to you and telling you things that you don't know or haven't heard. Right. And so that, for those two reasons, we thought, okay, let's take a step away from them. We have no issues with them. There's no beef with them. You've talked to the owner before. He seemed like a great guy. They sent us some products before. We made content for them. We thought the idea of the product was really cool. And as soon as the results weren't fully showing up, you started not using it as much in the practice. But we thought, okay, the brand is, they were nice to us, where we have no major issue with them. So between those two things, but I mean, the biggest thing with that, just like face reality, it comes down to results. It comes down to what you're using in the treatment room and what you feel really good about, and selling people a peel or a product. Talking about both companies, you have to feel really good about it. And you have to know that other clients, after they're getting it, are going, give me that again. Yeah.
You have to remember you're the one who's speaking face to face with the client. You're the one who has to face your client, and you have to feel really confident in the treatments that you offer and the things that you provide for your client. So for me, I don't take that lightly. If there's a common denominator of something not working, I'm going to value that, take that, my client's feedback, because I don't care how many posts I make about how amazing a treatment is. I'm listening to my clients, not Instagram. So listen to your clients and make sure that they're getting the value of your services. Otherwise, you're just selling. You're not providing value to your clients. But with that being said, I really appreciate the owner reaching out to me. I really appreciate him doing that. Truthfully, that means a lot to me as a brand, and recognizing my content and what value I provide. So I just want to say that first, but it does come down to results.
That makes it a little bit difficult. It's like we got good support from the company, and he was a good guy and reached out, and said some very kind words to you about what we were doing, and it felt good that like he sees it, right? Like he sees that we're trying to give his brand this love and this content and grow what he's doing.
But at the end of the day, as a bigger account, when your clients are asking you certain things, you don't want to be connected to things. And truthfully, like the drama and the legal, I don't know. I personally, I'm like, let me just disconnect myself, move forward, be thankful for what I was able to provide at that time in my practice, and move forward. So,
and it worked great for us when we did. I mean, we needed a peel like that. I mean, it felt like the clients were like looking for something new and different, and we had a lot of people try it, and some people come back for second and third treatments.
One thing that I didn't like about it though is that it has blue one.
I think it has blue one in it. You got to give it the green color.
Yeah. So
it kind of bums us out, because I know it feels like it's a marketing thing, because that's the big.
It's either blue one or green one.
Yeah. It was just the color. I know. I think the blue. Number. Yeah. If you put blue in it, depending on the chemicals, it could make it turn green. But yeah, and it was a marketing. It's for marketing, and it pops on Instagram that it's that beautiful green color.
Truthfully, like from a marketing standpoint, Buy Repo was amazing.
Yeah, it's genius.
It was like, oh wow, it's green, it's eye catchy.
Because I'm sure there's other peels in the market that are like
Yeah.
that, but that one popped off because of the way it looked, and
Everyone
it was eye catchy.
Yeah, and how you could do the little dots on there. Everyone was so mesmerized by this
Good
treatment.
idea.
Yeah, and I mean, truthfully, I mean, that's why I don't carry Jane Marini. I don't know if they've changed anything right now, but they have a ton of color in there.
Yep.
And I just don't resonate with that.
And fragrances too, and Jan Marini, which, yeah, I mean, that's teach their own. Everyone, can pick and choose. But yeah, for us, or with ZO is the same thing, having the blue dyes in their products as well.
For sure. Like their polish. I was like, I may make your skin feel good, but it just doesn't like resonate with me. And that's okay if you carry these brands. But for me, it just didn't resonate with me. I'm like,
one more I want to talk about that doesn't feel so, drama-y right now is that Skin Better. Is that when we first brought on Skin Better, there's a handful of products of Skin Better right now you don't carry in person. You don't keep stocked up on the shelves. And when you first started, you thought because med spas and bigger accounts that you saw all carried those specific products. Those are products you had to sell and that people needed to have. And you adapted and changed as you built your clientele and you saw what was working and you saw what was not working. And sometimes stuff that you see on the internet was things that were not actually working for your clients in person.
So I don't jump to things, guys. I don't know if you've noticed, but I don't post introducing blah, 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 unless I've tried it. Like, truthfully, I do not align with just posting something because everybody else is.
It's another hot topic in case you guys are wondering,
but for instance, Maestro, I was not a huge fan of that product when it first came out. I was like, I saw a lot of my acne clients breaking out from it. I myself didn't notice huge results, but I think it's great for a specific client, which is somebody who has excessive redness and excessively large pores. Now, is that at the time, was that like a huge concern for my clients? No, I felt like I could solve their problems with the current products that I had. So I'm not jumping to these products just because whoever is carrying these products. Like, truthfully, I'm catering to my clients. I'm not catering to Instagram because
the internet.
I think everyone has this pressure of being the first one and I think that's what's so different about me as a bigger account is I'm not like that. And it's nothing that I'm better than anybody, but like, just take a look at what is your purpose when you're posting these things? What is your purpose for carrying certain things? And I think that's where we feel almost FOMO FOMO of missing out, FOMO of not carrying a certain product or line just because everybody else is. And to be honest, I've had my fair share of moments where I'm like, dang it, everybody's posting about this new product. I feel like I'm missing out. But I want to try it first before I'm recommending it to my clients because truthfully, your clients are going to ask you these things in person. And you can say all you want, I believe in this product. These are the studies. This is it. But me personally, I just like to try it for myself first.
This goes back to like the Skin Better stuff.
Or even having like a client try it that I know trust.
Oh yeah, that has
these specific concerns that is based on these studies.
Exactly, because of course not everything is catered towards you either. But and I think that the Skin Better one is a good one. And then Face Reality, every company releases new products.
Like the pills.
Yeah,
I don't think that's in our scope.
Yeah, and Hydrenity had their lip stuff that came out, and everyone was posting it to all their clients and saying, "Go buy it, go buy it, go buy it." And I'm bringing this amazing new thing on, and now a lot of people talk about, "Oh yeah, Hydrenity's is not that good." But then I'm like, when it dropped, everybody posted it and said all my clients need to come and buy it. Yeah.
Because you should trust a company. I think that's the problem is that you trust a company and they should be, you hope that the product comes out and that it's amazing. But truthfully, I just personally don't feel right doing that.
Yeah. We should trust the companies, but also know that some products they put in as like filler products or add-on products, just like we do as businesses sometimes. Like having a jelly mask for certain clients is like, this isn't going to change your life, but it's a fun little add-on.
Yeah.
And we should look at some companies as certain products are fun little add-ons to add on to the entire line. And things like Maestro, they could be hyper specific and great for some people, and some clients just want to buy all the fancy good products just to have them. Just like, I mean, the pills, you know, that's a conversation for another day of Skin Better's, you know, supplements. But maybe some clients like to just go like, give me everything. I'll do whatever it takes. Give me the 12-step skincare routine with the supplements. I'm going to have perfect skin if my body likes it or not.
I think, like, truthfully, you have to have a clientele like that, though.
Yeah.
You have to have a clientele that if you bring on these things, they're willing to try it. They're like, whatever. Like, I just want to try it. The newest, the latest, and greatest. Okay, here you go.
But for smaller businesses.
Yeah, but for a smaller business as you're growing, or if you are like, if you don't have that clientele, I mean, there's no point in you carrying all these things if you don't know why you're carrying it. Like, I always tell people or estheticians, injectors, whatever niche that you're in, make sure that you have a purpose for what you're selling, because otherwise you're going to have products sit for months. If you're like, and truthfully, if you're but also if you're super excited about a product, that could also sell. So like, let's say Skin Better brought on Maestro. If you are so die hard for this product, of the things that you're hearing, you think about your current clientele and you're thinking of the ways that you can sell this product to your clientele. That makes perfect sense to me. Like, you may not truthfully like try it. I mean, maybe I'll try it one time and be like, this is amazing. But like, I mean, you do trust these brands for a reason. But me personally, again, back to kind of going back, I personally like to try the products before I promote it, because it's just, for me, it's integrity and making sure that I am trying it before I recommend it.
Yeah, we just don't want to go and like be on the jump on the bandwagon because of a company hypes it up. It's like when the new iPhone comes out, you know, most people don't run out and go and just buy it. They wait and they hear things and they go, what does everyone like and not like about the new iPhone? I mean, the iPhone 16 came out, you know, and I don't know a lot of people who switched to the 16.
Yeah.
It's because they looked on the internet and went like, oh, okay, well, most people aren't feeling it. Or they went into an Apple store and looked at it themselves and went, oh, it's kind of the same thing. Yeah. And I think with products, you know, not that you should wait for the internet to hear, but at least wait for a lot of people or people that you know and that you trust that get their hands on it and go, I've been using it for 6 weeks and this is what I've seen. And if you notice, like the iPhone 16, you don't hear really anything about a product like, say, Maestro. In my opinion, the hype of Maestro after a month just completely disappeared. And I think it was this big hype. It was this game life-changing product to everybody. And then it kind of faded out. And now the people that we hear champion and talk about it a lot are very specific. Like, I have a very specific client who certain clients who love, and this is their go-to product, which is just fine. But to make this like this big thing and say, everybody go buy it and everyone needs this when in reality it doesn't, I think is a little bit silly.
Again, have a purpose for why you're selling a product. I don't care if it's the latest and greatest. Think about how you can bring this product to your clientele.
And be willing to change. Be willing to change your mind. Be willing to learn and grow. Don't be stubborn. Don't be prideful.
I hated Maestro at first. I was like, I didn't understand the value. Now I could look at it and I know it's for a specific person. And
we're planning on bringing Maestro in the next few months and having a few in stock for those specific clients. So don't be afraid to adapt. Don't be afraid to grow. I hope this podcast was insightful and interesting. This is a different style this time. It was a really long conversation, a really fun conversation. But be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. The Patreon is also going to be linked down below. We didn't have a chance to talk about it this episode, but jump into our Patreon, jump into that community, learn everything that we know about marketing, protocols, skincare, everything we got. But if not, we'll see you guys in the next episode.